What's going on, world? I am James Betts, the host of Sipp Culture, where we highlight individuals, groups, organizations, or anybody for that matter who enhances or contributes to the culture. With me today, I have Nick Smith, owner of Salad Station. How's it going, man? And it's interesting how this came about. I came in here in Salad Station with my Sipp Culture hoodie. It had my face on it. And this is the power of branding, marketing yourself. I went to the register and I had my hoodie on, had my face, and Nick said, "Is that you on the hoodie?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "What's that? What's going on with Sipp Culture?" And I explained it to him. We exchanged information, and here we are now. So, what's going on? How's you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Starting another day of work. Just getting ready for 10 o'clock when we open up, man.
Oh yeah.
Ready.
And I had to get this interview. I thought it was interesting that you were at the register. You know, usually the person who's in charge, they're like, you know, in the back doing paperwork, or they're just checking on things. But you were at the register. I thought that was unique, where you could connect with people and seeing, you know.
Yeah, customer service, man, is a big part of it. Anytime I can communicate with every single customer that come in here, it's gonna benefit me in the long run for sure. And people appreciate it. They know they see the owner in there working hard, just like a regular employee at that point. So, and
okay.
I try to. There's a difference between a boss and a leader. I try to be a leader, not a boss. A leader is gonna get in there and get in the trenches with everybody else. So that's what I try to do.
Right. I think I saw something maybe on Instagram where it showed the difference between a boss and a leader. The leader actually gets involved, and that way he can kind of find improvements in the collective. And the boss just wants to tell people, you know, hey, do this and do that, and not understand or kind of connect with the people that they're leading.
Anybody can be a boss. It takes a lot to be a leader, I think. So
absolutely. So, you know, for the people who aren't familiar with you, who is Nick Smith?
Nick Smith. I'm a hometown guy here. Grew up in Purvis, Mississippi. Played sports my whole entire life. Always been a hard worker. Family guy. Got a big family. Got a baby on the way. So about 3 weeks, I'm gonna have a baby coming in. Just been around Hattiesburg, Mississippi my entire life. Love Mississippi. I think it's a great place. And I moved out of Mississippi, so I've been elsewhere and came back. You always want to come back to home, man. Home is where home is. There's no question. Fun guy. I like to play golf. I'm pretty simple when it comes down to it. Yeah, there's no question.
Same with me. Just, you know, hometown guy. I've been here all my life as well. So, you know, it's always to have someone who's from the area that can connect with, you know, the people in the community and just have something that they can go to. I think this place is genius. You know, as a matter of fact, I see that Salad Station started in Hammond, Louisiana.
Yes.
And like, how did you know, find out? How did you get involved with?
Well, I'm a business partner in another store here in Hattiesburg, Planet Nutrition. Me and my buddy Daniel Lawrence opened that up. And Alex Reiser, my business partner in the Salad Station, we would always eat lunch at Planet Nutrition. He'd come over there and eat lunch with me, and we were always scheming up ideas to try to open up another business. And he has connections down in Hammond. His brother's a head baseball coach at Southeastern Louisiana, and he started in Hammond. So he had heard about it from there, and he took me one day to Slidell to go and to eat at the Salad Station and kind of look at it to see if we thought it would be a good idea. And as soon as I walked in, it was one of those things where it was like, we got to bring it to Hattiesburg. You know, it was I hadn't even eaten yet, just walked in the door, and I was like, yes, I'm sold on it already. You know? So we signed the papers, and there it went. So
I mean, when I walked in here, I was like, this is a great idea. There's a community of salad lovers, and they're like, man, you know, when they come in here, it's like you can create your own salad, and you can, you know, you have different choices, a variety of different things that you can do and create. So, you know, I was like, and I heard about this place maybe a month ago, and I was like, I always drive by here, I'm like, I've never been in here. So I come in here and I told everybody, I'm like, man, have you been to Salad Station? They're like, oh yeah, of course you haven't, you're just not hearing about it. So I felt like I've lived under a rock and not even knowing like what, passing by every day. So I'm glad I come in. I came in like 5 days in a row.
I'm glad you made the stop, man. I'm glad
Yeah.
you made the stop.
So, like, what made you? Speaking of, connecting with your business partners, what made you go into entrepreneurship? Because, as an entrepreneur, I like to connect and see, what other entrepreneurs and their journeys and how they came about. What got you into entrepreneurship?
Honestly, friends, man. I mean, I've done a lot of different things. Graduated from USM in construction engineering management, and now I own a restaurant. So it's kind of funny how that works out.
Yeah.
I've been in the oil field. I owned a portion of another business. Was outside salesperson for a building supply company. So I mean, I've done a lot of different things. It just kind of knew the right people and just was in the right place at the right time every now and then. That kind of works. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a almost a happy accident, I guess.
Right. You never know how things turn out. I always said, oh, I'm going to play, because I was a basketball player, and I was like, I'm going to, just focus on this, and you never know how things turn out as you grow and as time progresses. And so, finding out how that happened with you is really, really interesting. In Salad Station, they have what you call pay by the pound, and explain, the concept behind that.
Pay by the pound, it kind of puts the power into the consumer's hands. So they come in here, if they want a small salad, they can get a small salad and they can pay $4 for it. If they want a big salad, they can have a $22 salad.
Right.
It just depends on what you want to get. And it lowers my labor force down, because in a sense my customer becomes my workforce as well. So they're
Right.
making their own salad. So I don't have to have anyone to make their salad for them. I just have to have people prep the food for them to make their salad.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps my labor costs down. Our food waste is going to be a little higher just from spills from customers or stuff like that. So it kind of evens out. But I think people like to have the control when they come into a restaurant.
Absolutely.
They can get exactly what they want to. If you go to another place and you're getting a salad, you're kind of limited to what's on that menu, and that's all you can get. When you come here, you can get whatever you want. If you just want a bed of lettuce and that's all you want, you can get a bed of lettuce if you want.
Right.
So you can kind of dictate the price and kind of dictate what you want on it. And when you pay by the pound too, we tear the weight of the bowl out. So when you get a bowl, you put it up there, you're paying for what's inside the bowl. You're not paying for the actual weight of the bowl itself. We have
Right.
customers all the time like, how much does this thing weigh? So we tear the weight of the bowl out, so you're just paying for what you put into that salad. So
I think that's a great idea, where people feel like they have control over something. When people feel like they're in control, they kind of get a sense of satisfaction from that. And opposed to, and I like how you say they're a part of the labor force, because they're creating.
Yep.
And the idea of creating your own salad, like I came up with this strawberry
right.
turkey, like whatever.
Make
they
your
wanna
own
do.
little masterpiece.
Right. And they come up with their own ideas of having, just creating that themselves, and putting the power in their hands, and it gives both parties, like I said, satisfaction.
Yep, absolutely.
So I saw also where you guys have farm fresh produce, and how does that separate you guys from
We
other-
get 3 produce trucks in every week. So I mean, whenever it comes off the truck, it's going onto the bar. We're cutting it up, and we get compliments all the time where people can notice and tell, hey, this is fresh. You can kind of taste the freshness of it, and that's a big part. Like that's our job, is to keep it fresh for the consumer. The
Right.
consumer makes the salad. We just got to keep the ingredients fresh, and we make sure we get the best produce we can. Check the trucks in. Get it from locally sourced places. So I mean, it's you can definitely tell it is fresh produce when you're putting it in your mouth. There's no doubt.
Right. I think that's also great, because you have the freshness every time, and customers complimenting you on having fresh produce, and that's what can separate you from any
Absolutely.
other place that has salad that may go to somewhere frozen or anything like that. But
Absolutely.
you guys having that daily, I think that's awesome. With the how important is customer service? We got into that earlier. How important is that to connect with people?
Customer service is a big thing. That's one reason why I do like to run the register, just because I own the business. So I mean, I'm going to put forth a lot of extra effort that maybe my employees would not. I just have that urge to go the extra mile when it comes to customer service. So I like to run the register and connect with people, and I'm good at talking about random stuff and just continuing a conversation on engaging someone. So I like to run
Right.
that register. I mean, I think it's more important, just as important as the food being fresh as well. You can eat a good salad, and it can be a good salad. If you have a bad experience as far as the environment in the restaurant you're eating in,
That plays a huge
that plays
part.
a huge role in it. You're not going to come back as much if you don't feel welcome, if you don't enjoy the people you're talking to and all that. So I think customer service is up there, if not maybe a little more important than the actual food itself. So.
Right. When I first started this platform, I was just like, I was looking at people's reviews, and they were telling me, hey, you could do better at this, or you could kind of do this, or,
Yeah.
and I'm taking that. A lot of people they're kind of sensitive to certain things, like when you create something or you get involved with something, it's like your baby, and then when somebody critiques, and I can tell if someone's genuine and someone who's being malicious, and I just take it and I construct myself, because those are the people that are, my demographic is actually, coming to me with certain critiques, and
Right.
I'm always open to anything that's just gonna improve the platform.
Yeah, the criticisms, I'd say there's definitely two different forms. If you get a criticism here in the store, it's easy to deal with because you can actually talk to the person face to face.
Right.
Now, when you talk about social media, that's when it gets into a different realm of do you even want to engage with that person on social media and get into a back and forth with them. So it's a lot harder to I guess tone down a complaint or a bad review on social media, because you can't really see the person face to face, and then everybody is seeing that bad review.
Right.
That's able to see for everyone. So social media can be a good friend, it can be a bad friend to you as well. If you get a good review, it's always great, but one bad review, it kind of hits you in the heart, and you kind of read it and you're like, man, what can we do better? So I just kind of look at it and say, well, we can do this better, we can do that better. I just don't see any reason to kind of get into an argument with somebody on social media, because there's no context to it. It'll get blown out of proportion every time. So
Absolutely.
so you read it and take it with a grain of salt and get better. That's about all you can do with that.
I always say that, to reinvent yourself, because it starts with me, and then I go into improving my business, like things that I can improve on myself, as well as the business, and as well as what I'm doing or what I'm engaging in, whether it's a business or whether it's like a friendship or a partnership, anything, so it goes from there. And that was going to be my next question as far as a bad review, but we got into it already. With the success of this location, I see that you guys are moving to Midtown.
Yes.
How much momentum have you gained since opening back in September?
Hattiesburg's been very receptive to us, and Hattiesburg needed a place like this. That's one reason we went into Slidell and knew Hattiesburg needed a place like this, just to meet some needs that the community has. I mean, everything's shifting towards a health-oriented type of society. So I think this is a fad that's not going to go out of style anytime soon.
Absolutely.
We keep getting more and more customers every day. I'm doing a little advertising here and there, interviews with you. We're in the process of actually renovating the building in Midtown. It's going to be right there across from the Indigo Hotel, right across from Southern Miss as well. You got Forest General right there. There's a lot of work to do to the building, but we're coming slowly but surely. I think June the 4th is when we're looking at trying to open. And like I said, I got a baby on the way, so I'm trying to have the baby and maybe wait a few weeks before you open that store. That way I'm not giving birth to a baby and then giving birth to a new business as well, so I can kind of breathe a little bit. So
you have that breathing room, that cushion. But I think it's great, because when I came in, it's always been busy. It's always like people, like nobody. You get a sense of good energy when you come into a place that everybody's enjoying, and you're coming in, fixing their food and all of that. So I think in Midtown, it'd be a great location for people to come in and engage.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that come from that side of town over here. And once you get across the interstate, that kind of divides Hattiesburg. People don't come on this side of the interstate. People don't go on that side of the interstate.
Right.
So we'll be far enough away where we're not going to hurt this one any, and we'll pick up some new customers down there that haven't maybe been on this side of town in a while and been able to try it. So we got a lot of people excited about it down there, and we're excited about it as well. So.
I was having a conversation with someone before, and when you go into entrepreneurship or business in general, it's like you actually solve a problem. And and throughout this conversation or this interview, I heard that you say, hey, they may need something like that in Hattiesburg, or on that side of town, people come over here, but then you thought of it. You're like, let me open one over there to be more convenient for the people
Oh
who
yeah.
may need this in their community. And that's why I was like looking at that, and when I get into conversations about entrepreneurship, I'm like, wow, people go in and actually seek to solve a problem opposed to just, I'm going to open a business
Yeah.
and I'm going to make money and, things like that.
Yeah, if
So,
there's not a need for the product you're selling, you're just spinning your wheels at the same time,
yeah,
Capitalism is a beautiful thing. It's
right.
voluntary transaction for something somebody wants. If nobody wants it, you're not going to be very successful. So
Um, Tell us about nurse appreciation. I saw that, you guys do things for the nurses and
yeah, that was one Thursday. I believe it was a Thursday. We just Hattiesburg is a medical town, so there are a lot of nurses, a lot of doctors,
Yeah.
a lot of medical facilities. So there's a lot of nurses and a lot of nurses coming here and support us. So during that, I think it was a nurse appreciation week, and we just picked a day out of that week to give the nurses a free pound of salad, and the nurses appreciated it for sure.
I
And
saw a
because
lot
they,
of
they
them.
came in groves. There's no doubt they came in from everywhere. I think we served like 180 nurses that day, so it was a very, very good turnout. We were pleased with it, and we hope the nurses appreciate it because we appreciate everything they do as well. And we have a Teachers Appreciation Day coming up as well. May the 7th, I believe, is when that's going to be. It's on I think that's on a Thursday also. Thursday or a Wednesday. But we get a lot of teachers from around this area as well. We got schools, kind of pinpoint us around everywhere around our store. So every morning at about 10 o'clock, that's kind of our first customers is the teachers. So
Yeah.
we want to give them something back as well. So
I'm pretty sure teachers would appreciate that. They
yeah.
would,
they work hard.
they work hard in the things that they deal with on a daily basis. I believe, like, hey, I'm going here in salad station, give me a salad. But I think that's interesting as well, where you get involved with the community, not only with you getting at the register and connecting with the customers, but also having these appreciation weeks. And I see, I wrote down here where you have Alzheimer's, coupon book sales, Christmas dinners, providing 25 families with
Yeah.
complete Christmas dinner, and like other things. Like, how important is that?
Some of our community outreach is the best advertising you can get. When you step out in the community and get in touch with the community and
Right.
and try to meet their needs as well, and help out certain areas that are less fortunate or they just need help from a disaster or something like that. That's the best form of advertising that I think you can possibly do, because advertising is expensive. It's it's hard to gauge whether or not it's working. So I know community outreach works because you get to sit there and see the reaction from the people you're helping out, and a lot of the Alzheimer's and the book sales and all that. That's some of the stuff that the corporate office does as well. So some of our proceeds that we pay back to them, they use some of that money as well to help people in need also. So
Okay. And, I think it's very vital that you reach out to the community to where you can have that connection with people. I'm always a people person. That's one reason why I chose this journey, is because I wanted to connect and get other people connected with the people that I'm interviewing or just engaging with, because it's important to connect. I think there's a disconnect sometimes within the community or the culture in general, because everybody wants to be to themselves, or I'm doing this over here, we're doing this over here. Like, why can't we connect? You go to larger markets, like Atlanta or New York or anything, you have the communities like involved with the local businesses and things
Yeah.
of that nature. So that's my mission here. People, especially here in the South, we love the homegrown businesses and stuff like that. So I not only talk about the business and what you have going on, but you, the individual. That way, people can connect with
Oh,
who
yeah,
you
definitely.
are. Last but not least, do you guys have like social media? Salad
yeah, we
Station?
have a Facebook page. It's going to be South Station of Hattiesburg. Then you got the saladstation.com. If you want to go on, you can do catering orders there, kind of see what it's all about. They got an Instagram page. So that we're on any type of social media that you can find. We're on Waiter, so if you want to place an order and not leave your house, we'll make the salad for you, and Waiter will pick it up and bring it to you. So we're on that as well. So there's definitely plenty of options.
Oh man, see that's another thing too. Convenience. You get connected with Waiter, and now you guys can deliver the salads. I know. And you said I know you spoke earlier. After this, you got a catering. You're gonna. They do that as well. They cater. You come
we
in.
got a catering order on 28th Avenue. We're doing a clinic over there. Gonna go serve, I think, 15 people over there some salads. So.
Okay. And again, Salad Station, located on 6169 Highway 98, Suite 12. You guys come here. This place is like, is genius. For all you salad lovers, the people who are in the health lifestyle, come down here, get you a salad, get connected with Nick. And you know he's a community guy. He's from here, this community. So it's always good to connect with people in your community. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in to Sipp Culture, where we highlight individuals, groups, organizations, or anybody for that matter who enhances the culture. So thank you for tuning in.